This is Doug Small, Project Pray, thought for today. Yesterday, I quoted Elizabeth Elliot, who said, "Holiness has never been the driving force of the majority." And I would add to her quote, not even in the church. It's not. We if you ask people, what's the number one characteristic of God? If you only one word to describe God, what would it be? Everybody shouts love, but it isn't love. No. It's holy. Heaven doesn't cry love, love, love. It cries holy, holy, holy. Because you see, the holiness of God informs the love of God. It is what makes the love of God pure love, so agape-like. It's the holiness of God that makes God's truth true truth. Holiness is the attribute of God, the essence of God, that sets him apart from any other creature. No one else wants to be holy. Only our God is only our God is holy. Robert Farrar said, the reason for not going out and sinning all you like is the same as the reason for not going out and putting your nose in a slicing machine. It's dumb, it's stupid, it's no fun. And then he said, some individual sins may have pleasure. And he's right. He's right. Because still attached to this sin, is what he calls the residual goodness of the realities that the sin is abusing. Adultery can indeed be pleasant, and tying one on, he says, I think you know what he means by that, might amuse, but underneath, because it's polluted, because what has been sacred has been polluted, underneath that, attached to that, is betrayal and jealousy and love grown cold, and what he calls the gray dawn of the morning after. Nobody's idea of a good time. Holiness. Sin has an attractive side to it. It has a pleasing, it has an appealing side. It's in Genesis 3. It's fruit that is to be desired, and it has a bottom line appeal to it. This will help you be like God. This will help you become God. You'll eat this, and you'll never die. But it's always a lie, because it's a half truth, because it's something that God has said no to. It's a shortcut. It's a shortcut. It's pleasure that puts self at the center and not God at the center. I think we have come in this culture to confuse discipline and legalism. And when you begin to talk about spiritual discipline, somebody says, "Well, that's just legalism." But this is not faith alone. This is faith. And it's not faith plus works. It is a faith that works. And if it doesn't work, it's no faith at all. If your beliefs don't manifest as behaviors, then you don't believe your beliefs. There's no evidence. There's no fruit of the root of that belief. Seeds, the Word of God, like a seed. It has in it the power of life. Think about the time you've seen a crack in the sidewalk or one piece of a sidewalk or driveway be pushed up, and what's underneath it? Tender roots. The life of a seed now growing and finding nourishment, and it's moving concrete out of the way. There's a power in the Word of God when it grows in our heart, in our life, and its bottom line is towards holiness. It's towards becoming like God. I pray for you and me that we'll see prayer not as acquisition, Genesis 3, grasping, pulling things from the tree, but we'll see prayer as transformation. God, change me. God, do something I can't do for myself. Make me like Jesus. Hey, this is Doug Small with the thought for today.
Does your church need to jumpstart its prayer ministry? Consider a Prayer Impact Weekend with P. Douglas Small, teaching and preaching on prayer, meeting with potential prayer leaders, breakout sessions. 4 groups in your church must be open if your church is going to transition from a house of praise and preaching to a house of prayer for the nations. Find out which groups are included and the process of becoming a house of prayer for the nations. Each weekend is tailored just for your congregation. Dr. Small has traveled the world, impacting pastors and prayer leaders in more than 100 nations of the world. Call for more information, 704-938-9111. That's 704-938-9111. Check out projectpray.org website.